What the fuck, Kanye? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Hey everybody, this is Atticus the Death Miller, and I can safely say that this is the final video, final rant before my end of the year video every Christmas on the year of 2022. Now, last year we did Twitch banning Hassan Piker and Vosh for saying cracka, but I think they're back on Twitch for some obvious reason. Well, that's been blown over, but I think that this... oh boy, this topples that. Now, all of you know that 2022 was a very, very, very difficult year for me. As in, I lost family members. I almost lost my dad. It was also very difficult for, women across America with Roe versus Wade being, overturned. Also, all of Ukraine still going on right now. It's been a very tough year, but I think that this subject that I am bringing forth, woo! Oh my God! I know I'm very late on the subject because everybody has been talking about this individual, and also it's been a long, long, long time since I've ever talked about this individual. Yep. You read it on the title. You know what this video is about. Yep. We're talking about Kanye West. And my God, it's been a long time. It's been a very long fucking time since I've ever made a video on Kanye or Ye or Yeezus or the gay fish, whatever you want to call him. It's just been a long time since I've ever made a video on Kanye. And a lot has happened. Oh boy, a lot of stuff fucking happens. So I know all of you know what is going on, but what has happened with old Kanye? Well, as our Lord and Savior Varg Vikernes always says,
let's find out.
So if we're going to be talking about Kanye West now, we're going to have to go back in time on that video that I made back in 2015 on the 57th Grammys that happens in February 8th, 2015. Now, I remembered I released my video, The Grammys Suck, back in that time, and oh God. I watched that video and I'm like, wow, have I grown over the years. But I mean, it is a beautiful thing that when you look at your old videos and you cringe so fucking hard on how immature you were back then, and then you look at yourself right now. But I'm rambling on. Beck won an award for Album of the Year, I recollect, and so he was about to get his award, and then off on the crowd, you see Kanye West attempting to get up, but then decide to back off because he knew that ever since he pulled that stunt off on Taylor Swift back in 2009, he was going to get left on. So was he going to shut up? No, he wasn't. He, in fact, decided to spit on Beck by doing an interview saying that, oh, Beck didn't deserve that award. It was Beyonce that deserved that award. She deserved it much more better than Beck ever did. In which I made my video. It was very immature, but at least I made somewhat of a point. Then later on, over in the summer of 2015, I forgot what festival it was, but Kanye decided to do a cover of Queen's legendary song, Bohemian Rhapsody, which a lot of people decided to rant about that, saying that it was so atrocious for him to cover Bohemian Rhapsody, which I find it so stupid that all ranters would rant about Kanye doing a cover on Bohemian Rhapsody. Am I right, guys? But alas, I think that people like myself decided to just move on with our lives because, I mean, Kanye was gonna Kanye anyway, and it really wasn't affecting anyone personally in their lives. I mean, there was much more bigger fish to fry, as in like raging SJWs than Donald Trump coming forth. And of course, the 2016 election came forth, and we all know how much of a shit show 2016 was, where even Kanye himself was simping over to Hillary Clinton. Then he decided to not simp over Hillary Clinton, team up with Candace Owens, and then simp over to Donald Trump. So that happened, and I was in my stupid anti-SJW simping God Emperor phase back then, and which resulted in 2018, which Trump signed this law. I forgot what it was. Let me know in the comments what it was. I'm too lazy to look it up, but it really did actually help out artists make a livable wage on their content that Trump signed. So that was a good thing that even Kanye was involved with. But alas, I mean, Kanye did a lot more crazy, insane, stupid shit as the 2010s rolled on. Apparently, Kanye broke up with Kim Kardashian, decided to stalk around on Kim Kardashian. And even Trevor Noah said this about the whole stalking situation with Kanye and Kim. And I actually have to agree with Trevor Noah on this. And you know hell froze over when Trevor Noah is the voice of reason. Trevor stated, "What she's going through is terrifying to watch and shines a spotlight on what so many women go through when they choose to leave." And that is a very real thing. I know it's Kanye West being Kanye, but this is a horrific reality for women, whether you're rich, middle class, or poor. Women do get stalked. Now, it doesn't mean that, men get stalked as well. I mean, men do get stalked. I had the man simp, simp on me way too hard on my Instagram. We all remember that shit. And he's lets me alone, which, thank God. I mean, other people have been simping over to Damien Skyfire way too hard, where it's just, very, very creepy. So, yes, men do get stalked as well. But women, the majority, get stalked the most. And then there was also that beef that Kanye had with Pete Davidson when Pete was dating Kim Kardashian. And there was also, and this was the most sus thing ever. Kanye actually, there was rumors that Kanye and Jeffree Star were a thing. I mean, Hell of a Boss actually had one snippet of little Easter egg on that whole rumor, which, I mean, I look at it right now. Oh God. Oh my fucking God.
Looking at me like you want my man. What the fuck?
And now we enter late 2022 and oh God. Oh my fucking God. Just when you thought Kanye wouldn't even Kanye hard enough, the gay fish did it. He decided to cross the line from being unfathomably stupid, but unfathomably dangerously stupid. So now we enter what I do believe October 2022. A lot of shit was happening in my personal life, as in car troubles, food poisoning, and then finally making peace with my aunt's passing, which you all know that it really, really, really did affect me. But let's just say I got all that underway. Meanwhile, Kanye West was handling shit in a very, very, very different fashion. So, we all know Kanye's crazy. We all know that. He's basically seen at this point as the celebrity, like the 1% of a village idiot. So it's every time Kanye does something very insane and crazy, it's just oh, well, there's Kanye at it again. So, it was expected. But nobody really expected this. Kanye brought forth a tweet which stated this: "I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I am going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people." The funny thing is, I actually can't be anti-Semitic because black people are actually Jew. Also, you guys have toyed with me and tried to blackball anyone who ever opposes your agenda. So, I didn't really think that much. And with the shit going on with Twitter, you would think that it would be a troll account that would portray as Kanye West. But no, this was a verified account. This was Kanye's own Twitter. This was Kanye himself tweeting all that. And Kanye literally said that. Not a troll, not someone from the alt-right. It was actually Kanye. So, you would think that a white nationalist would say shit like that, but no, it was actually Kanye. I didn't really think much of it. I really didn't, but oh God, it It struck up a fucking forest fire. It struck a fucking forest fire over here. A lot of sponsors, including Adidas, saw that and they're like, yeah, fuck you, Kanye. We're done with you. Get the fuck out. We're done. Basically, a lot of sponsors, including Adidas, really dropped off their endorsements from Kanye West. Absolutely so. Absolutely. And usually celebrities don't get away with, usually celebrities get away with a lot of very crazy shit. Like, Ezra Miller, to say the least. But the fact that they dropped off on Kanye with all their deals on the Yeezy sales and shit like that, this was like something. It's just like, I could understand because, you're a company and one of the celebrities that is endorsing you is tweeting shit like that. You gotta take responsibility because, a certain Charlie Chaplin stash boy, not only killed off 6 Gorillion Jews, but also killed several million other people across Europe, which in total was 11 million people under the Third Reich. So, nobody wants to associate themselves with a guy that is saying shit like this, but it gets a lot worse. As this downward spiral went forth, many times that every new thing that Kanye has said and done, it almost feels like that you are living in a South Park episode. I shit you not. Like, the stuff that the people that would associate with Kanye, it's unbelievable. Kanye went buddies with a lot of right-wing people, most notably Nick Fuentes, which we will talk about him in a moment. Milo Yiannopoulos, which I never thought in the wildest dreams I would ever see Milo Yiannopoulos come back in the limelight. I used to simp over to Milo Yiannopoulos back in my anti-SJW days, but nowadays it's just like I just don't give a fuck about Milo. He's just trying to rebrand his notoriety back in the mid to late 2010s. And then also Tim Pool. Now I find it funny because Tim Pool used to be associated with Vice and then became, basically on the anti-SJW crowd. And basically, it's so funny because all these anti-SJW folks him and Sargon Akkad always say they're classical liberals, but their majority of their fan base is all conservative right-wing people. Just fucking admit it. I'll admit it to myself. I become much more left-leaning as 2022 has gone by. I will admit that. I will absolutely admit that. I might bring out my new political views next year in a political compass video. Who knows? Let me know. But I'm just rambling. Kanye basically was getting more and more into his anti-Semitism as the days and weeks rolled on. And it was just funny, sad, and cringe. There was also a point where even Kanye was so frustrated with Tim Pool being, legit for once, saying, yo, what the fuck is up with you with all this shit going on? In which Kanye just got up, had a breakdown, and just left, which I'll show you right here.
Okay, so how about... Are you leaving?
Are you afraid of the press?
But nothing can really compare to what happened when he decided to come on Infowars and... Woo! Oh my god. So, I think we have reached the icing of the cake on this video, in which Kanye was on Infowars. Yes, Kanye was in the meme shitposting central hub, Infowars, with the man himself, Alex Jones. And what can I say? What can I really say? Now, all of you know that Alex Jones has always been a national treasure. Even though with my stances in politics, changing for the better in my personal opinion, I will always look at Alex Jones as just an absolutely just lovable meme. I mean, you can't help but just love Alex Jones. You just really can't. You just really can't. But the whole thing with Sandy Hook, yeah, really fucked up. So Alex Jones decided to have Yeezus, the gay fish, on board, looking like this. And of course, Nick Fuentes. Now, Nick Fuentes is a very, very interesting fella. Nick Fuentes is a very notable white nationalist, a member of the alt-right. Now, I have heard of Nick Fuentes here and there, but I did not realize on how absolutely fucking terrifying Fuentes is and how much of an influence he has within the Republican Party. If you want to know, Lazy Bedhead made a phenomenal video on Nick Fuentes, which I will leave down in the description below. It's a very long video, but it's pretty worrisome that a person that has been banned off of every social media, yet still was in bed with a lot of very prominent members, politicians, and associates of the Republican Party. Now, I'm getting way ahead of myself, but Nick Fuentes essentially is honeycoating Kanye. And I find it so funny because, like, Nick Fuentes hates everything that Kanye is. Kanye's black. Kanye is mentally ill, as in having bipolar disorder. Nick Fuentes, even though, like, his baby daddy, his senpai Hitler hated the mentally ill in the Third Reich, he still takes advantage over the mentally ill in, like, the fringes of 4chan and incel communities here and there. But basically, yeah, he hates Kanye for being black. He hates Kanye for having an interracial relationship with interracial babies. So... And yet he's using Kanye because he knows that Kanye is a perfect plot for his plan of basically making America great. Not just how Donald Trump wants it, but how he wants America to be great. Nick Fuentes is over there. And then Kanye says this shit.
CNN says white people are evil Nazis, so... I mean, I disagree with both statements, but I get the pros.
I don't like the word evil next to Nazis. I think we need to look at...
Oh my goodness! Just because you don't like one group doesn't mean the other. But look,
I love Jewish people, but I also love Nazis.
Oh man! Well, I have to disagree with that.
I like Hitler.
I don't like Hitler, and I know you're trying to be shocking with that.
I'm not trying to be shocking. I like Hitler. I do not. The Holocaust is not what happened. Let's look at the facts of that. And Hitler has a lot of redeeming quality. Perfect answer for the ADL. They are going to have to listen up. What we did is we brought Netanyahu with us.
Which, I mean, when you make Alex Jones that uneasy, you know that there is a fucking problem. You know that the balance in the world has shifted and it is absolutely just unfringed. And we just know that shit's real. I can't help it. It's funny because it feels like we're in a South Park episode. It's sad because Nick Fuentes is using a mentally ill person having an episode say all this shit. It really is scary. It is scary knowing that a white supremacist is using a mentally ill man for his own agenda. Meanwhile, Alex Jones is being Alex Jones and stuff. And even after having the two of them on board, Alex Jones had an interview with Steven Crowder. Now, I know that all of you dislike Steven Crowder and all these other people, but I watched this video here. And yeah, Alex Jones was going to have a peace of mind with Nick Fuentes as well.
He was not familiar with that. And so it does concern me that if he's going to go out and make these statements, were you concerned sort of understanding or being around his close inner social circle that they really aren't doing a good job in ensuring that he's informed when he goes out and discusses these issues?
He is very forceful and has a big personality, and it's really hard to get a word in edgewise, kind of like Trump. And people think I have a big personality, but I'll actually be quiet sometimes, and I'm not putting him down for that. He was like a whirlwind. You couldn't shut him up. he was going to say what he was going to say. And I was bringing up historic, real things about the Nazis that my family, who were in World War II, told me about. Oh, that's true. We saw that in Germany, or we saw that in Italy. Again, both my grandfathers almost died, both of them World War II. I almost don't exist because of it. And they talked about what the Nazis were like. And my mom's dad also worked on some black budget weapons programs in the 50s and 60s, and just said that he'd been at some military bases that had Nazis on them, and they were very, very arrogant, and he didn't like having to work with them in some of these programs.
Another thing about Nick Fuentes, which I find even much more hilarious. Nick Fuentes, though being a prominent and very influential white supremacist, he's not really white. He's Hispanic. So, buddy, you're appropriating my kind.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
You better check yourself before you wreck yourself, because you be wearing a blue triangle under the Third Reich's regime, since you are such a big simpy daddy for little Charlie Chaplin, Hitler Bitler. Yeah, this video is breaking me down, man. It really is amazing that we're living in a time like this, where one of, if not one of the most influential musicians today is going down this downward spiral. And it's just amazing how we are seeing this go on. And then you have, you feel so confused watching this unfold. Like, again, you feel like you want to laugh at this, but at the same time, you feel so sad. And then at the same time, you feel terrified. I don't want to be that guy and stuff. I really don't. But given that Kanye has a lot of influence, it's very terrifying that he is saying this type of shit. I know, like, just bear with me. So I think all of you have seen this image right here, where a bunch of white supremacists brought out that paper of, like, Kanye was right about the Jews. Well, a lot of that shit is growing. Nick Fuentes, as I've mentioned earlier, is using Kanye for his agenda. And if you watch Lazy Bedhead's video all the way through, you will see what I mean. That this is very, very worrisome that we have Kanye spewing this shit, and that alt-right people that you would think would never, loop their way into mainstream politics, and yet here we are right now. I know a lot of people like to bring in Godwin's law here and there. Let's put it into perspective. I think there's like 5 million Jews or 8 million Jews alive today in this world. Kanye has over like 32 million followers on Twitter. Now, I know it's me pulling a Jack Thompson, but I am very well aware, and I'm very certain that everyone can think for themselves, and they're not mindless fucking drones listening to be like, yes, Kanye, I agree with you, just bad Kanye, God. That's not what I'm trying to say here. It's just keep an eye out for when you see shit like this. Keep an eye out and know all the warning signs, because we're in this situation where you have a very influential celebrity that has been known to do a lot of very weird shit, act all weird, and all of us going, oh, it's just Kanye being Kanye, and now we're up to here basically saying like, I love Hitler. We're in at this moment right now, and I don't like where this is going. I mean, agree to disagree. You have to admit, it's pretty freaky. Now, all I gotta say, I really do wish that Kanye really needs to get his shit together. I mean, I can't imagine how Kim Kardashian feels. Kim Kardashian, like, won over the custody of their children after all this was going on, with Kanye doing all this anti-Semitic shit that he's been spewing since October. I mean, I could imagine I can only imagine what Kim is going through. And this is a guy that doesn't even give a shit about Kim Kardashian. But just imagine if you were in her shoes being like, oh God, oh my fucking God. I can just imagine her going through that. It is pure insanity. It's either we are living in a simulation or we are living in a real life South Park episode. What a fucking time it is to be alive, where Kanye is talking about the Jews in negative fashion. We have supposed hate crimes spewing out. Nick Fuentes is just trying to use Kanye as a way of just gaining more influence, especially doing an uninvited Thanksgiving luncheon with Donald Trump. It's wild, man. It's so fucking wild. Even Ben Shapiro himself is like, yo, take it down a notch. We want you here. You're all the way up over here, man. What a wonderful world it is. What a wonderful fucking world. This also is just a really huge shame. It's a huge shame because all the anti-SJW crowd, the skeptics, and all these other people that I used to look up to and follow, now I look at them as just basically being shields for the actual alt-righters, the white nationalists, all those people that these people claim to not associate with, but actually were shields for these people. I mean, you look at people like Sargon of Akkad and all these other people. Like, I used to really, I haven't followed Sargon of Akkad in a while, but looking at his Instagram right now, it's just whatever. I mean, it really sucks because, I mean, I was of that anti-SJW phase, and I was seduced with the alt-right up until the pandemic, which, I mean, the pandemic was a blessing in disguise despite all the fucked up shit that happens in the pandemic. It was the character development that I really did need. But when you grow up, gain heaps of maturity, and you look back at yourself and realize, damn, you tend to learn the errors of your ways. You really do. Not all of them, but a good chunk of them. And you learn for the best. And you try and pick yourself up, and you try to unlearn all the stuff and just learn new stuff and just be a better person. You know, I'm working on unlearning on a lot of stuff. I'm learning to listen to the other side, but then you have the side that you once loved, and it was an awesome community to say the least. And now you just see them basically seeing SJWism here and there. But when you see people like some black guy, it's just like, wow, all that shit is done with. And yet people are still rambling on. I mean, SJWs are still around. Don't get me wrong. I still don't like them. But with people like Nick Fuentes that are like gaining some momentum in American politics, I think that's a bit much more of a concern rather than just a person with they, them pronouns. Well, except for Ezra Miller, all right? So, yeah, Ezra Miller is still a fucking menace to society. But, I mean, what do I know? It's fucking wild, man. What are your guys' thoughts and opinions on this whole situation involving Kanye West? Did you like this video? Did you dislike this video? Do you agree with Kanye? Which I would find very fucking concerning. Were you right on how Alex Jones handled stuff? Do you simp over to Nick Fuentes? Which I would find very concerning as well. Do you believe that Kanye is still a gay fish? Leave it all down on the comments below. And stay tuned, hopefully, for my end of the year video. Without further ado, ladies and gents, I am Atticus the Death Meller. Hope you like this video. Subscribe to this channel. Links are down in the description below. Keep it metal. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Have an excellent and blessed day, y'all. Prost.